Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. Now there has been a lot of chatter with regards to the wealth distribution survey, with regards to the inheritance tax and the latest attack that has been made by Aam Aadmi Party's Arvind Kejriwal in demanding to know that after Prime Minister turns 75 years of age, who is going to be his successor. So, the Prime Minister has remarked and said that there may be families and dynasties and politicians who may want to give their legacies to their heirs, to their inheritors. While Prime Minister Narendra Modi's legacy, his inheritance is going to go to the people of the country who are his heirs. He said that mere waris to aap log hain. Let's take a look at that sound bite and come back and hold a discussion.
साथियों, मोदी के वारिस कौन है आपके पास कोई नाम कि भाई मोदी इसको लेकर के जाएगा? कोई नाम नहीं है। क्यों? मोदी के वारिस आप हैं।
Okay, let's start this conversation. Advocate Mahima Singh, now from wealth distribution to caste survey to then talking about inheritance tax and then about Muslim reservation and then talking about the Manmohan Singh comment that had been made when the UPA era was ruling the country about how, quote unquote, Muslims have the first right to India's resources. And the Prime Minister now speaking about him having an altruistic view of running the country, of building the country and giving it all for the people when he decides to retire from politics. How does Congress view this and what is it that you have to come forth as a counter?
Jai Hind. Megha, you would have heard that age-long proverb in Hindi, you know, बड़ा हुआ तो क्या हुआ जैसे पेड़ खजूर पंथी को छाया नहीं फल लागे अति दूर. Similarly, the Prime Minister, see, he's a master of digression. He can throw huge slogans and huge phrases, hurl them at the public whenever he wants to. But it is all whimsical. Because when it comes to the ground, what we have, what is the practical reality of the ground today in India is an unprecedented unemployment, unprecedented inflation, unprecedented crime against women, SCs, STs, OBCs, all facing atrocities. The gulf between the rich and poor has widened like never before, Megha. You see, 40% of India's wealth is enjoyed by 1% crony capital friends of the Prime Minister, and what he talks about is that all his belongings belong to the people. In fact, our leaders have questioned just today that, see, the rate of changing of apparels by the Prime Minister doesn't quite match with his income. He earns at around 1.5 lakhs per month. But the suits and the boots that he keeps changing, we don't know where does all that money come from, his Mont Blancs and his sunglasses and everything. You see, you name it and you will find it out. But it is the poor, it is the middle class, it is the women of this country, it is the SCs, STs of this country who have faced the brunt. In fact, crime against SCs, STs, let me reiterate, has gone up by 48% during Mr. Modi's rule. So he can, speak all hunky-dory. But the people of this country, the women of this country, the poor of this country are questioning, what are you leaving if you are saying that we are your inheritors? Okay. Although he has never answered to our argument, that is his own ministers who were arguing for advocating the inheritance tax. He or his representatives have never really answered to that. But today he is saying, that you are my inheritors. What is he leaving in legacy?
Okay. Raman Malik, would you like to respond? What is the legacy that Modi is leaving behind is the question Congress wants to ask.
surely it is not going to be legacy of Mountbatten's stories, or for that matter, the night drive of IIT, or for that matter, the stories of London, Colombia, Afghanistan. Surely it's not going to be all of those. But yes, the story that is going to be left behind is a nepotism-free India, a developed India, or the India which is going on the fast track of becoming a developed nation, a self-reliant India, an India which can look into the eyes of the master of those who signed the 2008-9 MOA in Beijing, and then also those who still think Pakistan is competent to मैन्युफैक्चर चूड़ियां, उनको गलतफहमी ये हो गई कि पाकिस्तान के पास शायद चूड़ियां होंगी। उनके पास आटा नहीं था, उनके पास बिजली नहीं थी, उनके पास गैरत नहीं थी। ये नहीं पता था इनको कि उनके पास चूड़ियां भी नहीं है। So they should understand this legacy which is of Bharat and not discovering India.
Okay. Mahima, obviously Raman Malik is referring to the comment that was recently made by Manishankar Iyer. He is seen praising Pakistan. He's saying that we should respect Pakistan. And Pakistan में चूड़ियाँ नहीं पहनी हुई है. So the comment was so widely criticized and mocked that the Congress had to distance itself from the comment.
Megha, number one, it was not a recent comment, it was a months-old comment. Number two, what does Manishankar Iyer's comment has to do with the Congress? The Congress has already acted against him in the past, and even today, when it comes to talking for the nation, when it comes to
then you might as well expel him from the party.
Just a minute.
This is not the first time Manishankar Iyer has made such outrageous comments.
Megha, allow me to finish. My party, the Congress party, takes a stance against anybody who speaks against the nation and the issues of the people of this country instantaneously. I want to ask the BJP, please ask him to observe some discipline.
Saying that
you are on national television.
Let Mahima finish her thought. Mahima did not interrupt you, Raman Malik. Let her finish her thought.
Sure.
See, that is the culture in the BJP. They cannot stand the truth. You know, so much intolerance. Now, let me just say, let the BJP spokesperson answer to what was their stance against Tarun Vijay, who not only called Bhagwan Krishna Kala, he compared the people of this country and called them out for their color and so on and so forth. But no action was taken. Not only he is an ideologue of the BJP, but he is a big leader of the BJP. Never ever, neither the Prime Minister
for him calling Krishna
Kala, the leaders called it out. Apart from that,
but in our epics, in our Granths, in our Ramayanas and the Mahabharatas, it's well established that Krishna is Kala. And it's not looked down upon as something of an insult to a god.
Megha, would you allow me to complete my stance? Or should I just be a...
No, please go ahead. I was just trying to make a clarification there, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, first it's the BJP spokesperson. You are a very seasoned anchor. Please allow me to just complete my thought. I am saying that you please refer to that statement of Tarun Vijay's, play it out, and then let your viewers decide. Was it in a good light or a bad light? We know what the mythology holds, but we also know the true mindset of the BJP. See, the BJP is today totally rattled. The BJP is rattled today because the BJP is losing.
Ram is a mythology. You faced one. Don't say
Megha,
Krishna is a
no.
mythology.
Megha,
Raman
I'm
Malik is
silent
simply
now
saying,
on you.
please don't call Krishna's
BJP
life
spokesperson
as
can go on.
mythology. Don't call Lord Krishna as a mythological character. But go ahead. Okay, you
And
made your point.
you-
You
and
made your
you-
point.
no,
You
no,
made
no.
your point. I'm going
Megha,
to
I
come.
don't debate like this.
come
You
to-
can please have your say and let the BJP spokesperson have their say. I will be a silent observer on your
Nobody is
show.
having
If
their
you want-
say. You've made your point. If you want to
I
add
did
on,
not make my point.
if you want
I
to
did
add
not
on
make
to
my
it, please
point.
go
Allow
ahead.
me.
If you want to
No,
add
no,
on
no,
to it,
allow
please
me.
go ahead. Yes, I'm allowing you
Allow
now.
the BJP's mindset. Let me come to the current scenario. The BJP's mindset, the BJP's legacy for the people of this country is the green curtain on the poor people of this country. Everybody remembers when Namaste Trump happened, a wall was built to hide the poor people of this country. When G20 happened, a curtain was drawn upon the poverty, the poor sections of this country in Delhi, very much in the heart of the capital. So that is the BJP's mindset, and the people have quite understood it. BJP is losing ground, which is why it is rattled today, and we do understand it.
Okay.
Which is why their own ideologue, RSS, has also distanced itself from the BJP. So we do understand, and let them have their say. Let them not hear the.
Raman Malik, would you like to
Here's on the
respond?
4th of June.
Would you like to respond that everything is put behind curtains simply to put a show of how brilliant and vibrant and shining India is, when the reality is something else?
Yes, sure, why not? विज्ञान भवन में मेगा जी बंद हो जाता था पूरा अंतरराष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन, और लुटियंस दिल्ली में घूमता रहता था। ये मनमोहन सिंह जी जब प्रधानमंत्री थे, रिमोट कंट्रोल से चलने वाले, और रिमोट कंट्रोल सोनिया जी के हाथ में होता। ये तब का वर्णन। Now, on the contrary, when G20 happened, every part of the country was showcased. यहां तक कि जो इनके राज में जम्मू और कश्मीर गरीबी की बदहाली में था, तीनों में लिपटा रहता था, फटे हुए पैबंदों में रहता था, उसको भी दर्शाया गया, उसको भी अच्छे से दिखाया गया। Not just that, they have a habit of disgracing Hinduism. Mythology, they said about Krishna. They said the same thing about Rama, that Rama is mythology. राम फटे हुए पैबंद में रहे इनके राज में, उनका विराट महल अब तैयार हो चुका, उसमें वो सुशोभित हैं। कृष्ण भी होंगे, महादेव भी होंगे।
Okay.
आप अपना मुस्लिम लीग का जो फिलॉसफी है उसको कैरी ऑन रखिए। इस देश के लोग प्रगति चाहते हैं, दे विल गेट इट। दे नीड डेवलपमेंट, दे नीड इंडिपेंडेंस फ्रॉम द नेपोटिज्म दैट यू हैव क्रिएटेड, दे विल गेट इट। दे नीड an independence from the family rules. Today also she was talking about what women's safety. I think the nation saw somewhat an episode of the Indie Alliance, somebody calling from the chief minister's house and some episode happening.
Okay, all right. There's still not, I mean, there's still at this point in time an investigation taking place. Not too much has come to the surface. All right, yes. Mahima, you want to comment on it? Yes.
Oh, God. Briefly, let me say so. That, see, Mr. Tarun Vijay had to apologize for what he said. He said, we are not racist because we accept South Indians as our brothers and sisters. So what did he mean? And of course, the BJP didn't speak. Also, let me remind you of a very recent example. In Assam, the Assam Chief Minister, Mr. Hemanta Biswa Sarma, had actually tweeted on X, and he said that, it is the duty of all the other classes to be at service of the upper classes, of Shudras and of the backwards, citing a shlok from Gita. And nobody from the BJP stood against that remark. That is the BJP's true mentality. The BJP spokesperson can certainly, take us and talks whimsically, he can talk in whatever complicated manner he wants to hear. He can put a facade on the true mentality of the BJP, but it's not going to work because the people can see through them today. They will see through themselves on the 4th of June.
Okay, all right. Let me get in the analysts also on the telecast with me. Joyita Basu, how do you view the comment that has been made by Prime Minister amidst all this cacophony that we witnessed with regards to first the caste census, then we spoke about the inheritance tax, there was a word about wealth redistribution survey. What does it all come to? Is it just drama to play out to the galleries because it is the election season? What is the perception of the people to all that is transpiring?
Megha, before I go into that, I am just quickly reminded of one incident because this green curtains, the poor people are being hidden. If you remember the Commonwealth Games, which was so panned for the kind of corruption activities involved, it was that time, we all remember, you know, Delhi was covered with those green screens everywhere, so that the poor people could not be seen. And this was actually commented on the British press, which was very nasty, saying the most awful things about India. But this was something all of them had talked about how green screens were being used by the Sheila Dikshit Manmohan Singh government at that time to hide the poor people. So, when it comes to green screens and poor people, I would say both parties are equally responsible. Now, talking about the Waris part that you talked about, you see, one of the reasons why Mr. Modi is trusted so much, one of the reasons why he is so popular is one of the reasons, not for the, I am not talking about, you know, the only reason, there are several other reasons. One of the reasons is that he is seen as above nepotism. He does not have a family, and that is taken as a huge advantage for him. He does not, you know, when it comes to Waris, when he is talking about, it is about his legacy going to the people, people believe it. Okay. And the thing is, this is the primary difference that he has with other politicians. And when it comes to trust and faith in the in a figure, in a political leader, it is a fact that it is very, very high. So, when he is talking about Waris, it is not just about, you know, when he is talking about Waris, it is about what he has talked about, making India a developed nation.
Okay.
Whatever my legacy is, it is for you people. And more, you see, it is not just about talking, whether people believe it or not. And yes, from evidence, it seems like that people believe it.
Okay. Nikhil, would you like to comment on this, especially when 2014 election campaigning started and BJP took over from the UPA? The narrative that was played out by the BJP was that the UPA is corrupt, that the Congress is corrupt, and it is dynastic politics that has led to the fall of the country. Now, the narrative has carried on from 2014 to 2019 to 2024, and there have been 2 successive elections that have been won by the BJP on this plank, besides the others that have been played out over the years, over the terms. Now, this time again, when the inheritance tax hullabaloo comes to the fore and wealth distribution, and there are allegations being made that wealth distribution is being done simply because the share of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, the Dalits will then be further divided up to give percentage of it to the Muslim minorities. Now, in a situation such as this, when Modi is again playing on the card that he does not have a family to whom he is going to bequeath his political leadership, his position, there is nobody he will fall back on. Everything is out in the open. It's an open book. He is working for the people. He is working for the development. He is working for the welfare, and therefore people do not have a reason to pinpoint, raise questions on him that how are you filling the coffers? Who are you filling the coffers for?
Megha, thank you for summing up the arguments of the BJP spokesperson. I've been waiting on the debate very patiently for a very long time. I hope I can speak without interruptions. So first of all, the Manmohan Singh statement that has been raised around that Muslims will have the first right to the resources of the country, that's not what he said. He had included a number of other classes and castes of people, including OBCs, etc., etc. Secondly, you hit the nail on the head when you started this debate by listing out the number of narratives the Prime Minister tried to play with in these elections, but one after the other they have failed, whether that is Mangal Sutra, Bhais Chori, inheritance tax, this and that. All of these are election jublas, and the people of the country can very well see through it. So far as the charges of dynastic dynastic politics is concerned, we've all very well clearly seen how the BJP and NDA is now the biggest proponent of dynastic politics. Let me remind you that in Karnataka, the president of the BJP is Yediyurappa's son. The leader of the opposition is Yediyurappa's son, right? And then you have alliances with the people like Chirag Paswan, people like Ajit Pawar, people who are a bunch of other dynasts and nepotists. So far as the assertion by the Prime Minister that I don't have a family and that is an advantage for me, I think it is disgusting that in a country where culturally we value our close-knit families, there is a man who has 5 brothers, who has multiple nephews and nieces, who had a living mother, who has a living wife, claims that I have no family. This is absolutely disgusting. My friend, you have a family. And if you're going to say, I don't have kids,
the Prime Minister is not saying that I don't have a family. The Prime Minister is saying that there is no personal inheritor to his political lineage, like how it is witnessed in various other political families. No, I know you have limited time, but I'm just going to stop you over there when you are misinterpreting what a political leader is saying. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. Please go ahead. Please go ahead with your point. Please go ahead.
Even Rahul Gandhi does not have a personal inheritor. Even Mamata Banerjee does not have a personal inheritor. Even Nitish Kumar does not have it. But we have never heard these leaders trying to, show having a family as something of a bad life. Amit Shah has a family. And Jay Shah is BCCI secretary. So the BJP is trying to. What is this cacophony here? Megha, what is this cacophony? This BJP spokesperson cannot stay silent when it is served to speak.
And yes, you rightfully mentioned B.S. Yediyurappa and now his son at this point in time contesting the election.
I can count Rajnath Singh's son. I can count Jyotiraditya Scindia. I can count a bunch of other leaders from the BJP and BJP alliances. Mr. Aman Malik, you don't have any substantive points when it is your turn to speak. Kindly stop interjecting every other.
Hold this conversation to your advantage does not mean that what you say is right. The point over here was that Prime Minister is not mentioning that anywhere he is mentioned that he does not have a family. What he is saying is that, listen, I do not have an inheritor in terms of my political place is going to be then taken over by his son or daughter or wife or whosoever. Like it happens, like you rightfully mentioned, whether it is the Gandhis or you talk about Akhilesh Yadav or you talk about Tejashwi. I just said B.S. Yediyurappa. You rightfully mentioned that. This is what the Prime Minister was trying to tell when he spoke to the people and made that comment. Yes, Joyita, yes, go ahead.
You see, I think the point here is that I agree with you that deliberate misrepresentation and misinterpretation is going on. To start with all of us, I have been writing for years, but Manmohan Singh said at that time, there are videos available where he is talking about minority rights. I mean, when he is talking about that Muslims have the first right to resources. So let us not get into all those things. It is very much there. Internet does not forget. All the videos are there. As I said, I have been writing about it for years. So the thing is, the whole point of the conversation is that when we are talking about what is, here it is a question of the legacy, and the thing is, you see, the whole point is when he is saying that people trust him. It does not matter what critics or opposition party members will say on television or not say. I mean, say primarily. What matters is, do people believe him? Do people believe him 100%? Okay. That's the bottom line.
Okay, all right. Nikhil, would you like to say something to this?
Yes, absolutely. Megha, what I'm trying to say is that Narendra Modi has carried on this charade for far too long. For far too long, the voters in this country believe that, but now they don't, and that is why the BJP, after 10 years of ruling this country, has to go back on their pet peeve narrative of Hindu-Muslim. The people do not believe that he's an anti-dynast leader anymore. I'm being very honest with you. 2014, everybody, including myself, believed that yes, the Congress party is a dynastic party and Narendra Modi is somebody standing against dynasty, but no longer. People have seen how this man is the biggest proponent of dynasty. I can list Jyotiraditya Scindia, Yediyurappa's son, Rajnath Singh's son, Ajit Pawar. There are countless names. Prajwal Revanna, of heaven's sake. Mr. Raman Malik wanted Manishankar Aiyar to
I think you make a fair point. You make a fair point. If Modi may not have a family to back off, and he does not allow for his wife to then become, or at least have a position, no, if not for a prime minister, then at least as a cabinet minister or fight an election. It's not as true for other people who are part of his cabinet or who are sitting members of parliament or who are fighting the election. So there goes your nepotism debate, and there goes your credentials in terms of dynastic politics and whatnot. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, and thanks for watching.